This is the Harry Loomis Show. Welcome back to the Harry Loomis Show. Today is Sunday, September 28th. It's 8:20 p.m. in Columbus, Ohio, which means Packers and Cowboys are just getting ready to kick off. But I'm not watching that game right now because after today's Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas Speedway, I got to kick the dust off. This is my first NASCAR video since February. I had to make a video about today's race. First off, today's race was exceptional. Tire wear was on point. You could pass. It was difficult, but it was doable. There were comers and goers. Everything you wanted in that race, you got. It was probably the best fall race that Kansas has had in the next gen era, which says something because their spring races have been absolutely incredible. But the ending to today's race drew the absolute ire of me. After Zane Smith's flip, which I'm glad he's okay, the final restart came down to Christopher Bell and Bubba Wallace on the front row. Bubba Wallace had the lead. Tyler Reddick and Chase Briscoe in the second row. And Denny Hamlin was restarting fifth on the outside line. Chaos ensued on the last lap. Bell and Bubba were battling for the lead, coming to the white, and Bubba went up high, almost got on the wall. I don't think he did. Had no issue with Bubba. And it allowed Briscoe and Hamlin to get by for second and third coming to the white. Chase Elliott in fifth on fresh tires. And Denny Hamlin had the race won. He was in perfect position to the inside of Bubba Wallace in turn three and made an aggressive move, put Bubba Wallace, the car that he owns, in the wall. Both of them lose momentum. Chase Elliott on the inside line powers through and gets the win. So the order of operations, all five of those cars are either Denny Hamlin, a car that he is a teammate of, or a car that he owns. None of them went to victory lane. The guy who is maybe his biggest rival in the sport gets the win and is moving on to the next round of the playoffs. All five of those Toyota drivers are not locked in. Two of them are in must-win situations, the cars that he owns. Denny Hamlin is one of the greatest drivers in the history of NASCAR, bar none. 59 career wins, has never started a NASCAR race not in the Joe Gibbs Racing 11 car. That is unprecedented longevity. Richard Petty drove different car numbers. Dale Earnhardt drove different car numbers. Jeff Gordon even drove the 88 at the end of his career. Denny Hamlin has only driven the 11 car. By all accounts, this guy should be heralded by the sport. Don't give a crap about Toyota hatred. This guy should be looked at as a hero, as a legend, as a top 10 driver of all time, because you look at the stats, that is what he is. 3 Daytona 500 wins, 2 Southern 500 wins, I believe. Not a Brickyard 400, but a Coke 600. He's won the Bristol Night Race twice. Won an All-Star race. One of the best drivers I've ever seen at Pocono, at Martinsville, at Darlington, on super speedways, and he gets none of the credit that he deserves, hardly any of it. His only accolade that he earns is the greatest driver without a championship, and that is no one's fault but Denny Hamlin's. Here are some of the biggest examples of Hamlin having things go wrong and it really being his own damn fault. 2010, this was Hamlin's breakout year. He had 6 wins in the regular season, was the regular season points leader. New Hampshire, he finishes second to Clint Boyer. Boyer gets bopped for a major infraction after the race, loses 100-something points, goes from about second in the standings to 12th. Next week at Dover, Hamlin is mouthing off in the media about how RCR has been cheating all year long and things like that because they were horrible the year before. The next year, all 3 of them are in the playoffs. Kevin Harvick is the top driver all year long. They have a war of words at Dover. Harvick gets into him at practice. They jaw off in the garage area. Had a mental battle with Jimmy Johnson as well. Run out of fuel at Phoenix when dominating the race. Bad qualifying effort at Homestead. Spins out early in the race. Never recovers. Loses his best opportunity as a champion in his 5th year of trying. Jimmy Johnson wins his 5th straight title. That's number one. And by the way, 8 wins in a year, that's an incredible season. He didn't win the championship. Oh well. He's going to get back there. He's 30 years old. He's got all the time in the world. We got to move on a while. 2011 was a bad year. 2012, he won a lot of races, but had a bad playoff run. 2013, the incident with Joey Logano breaks his back. Season's a wash. 2014 makes the championship four, but was not as good as Kevin Harvick that year. Whatever. 2015 tears his ACL before the chase. Just kind of a non-factor. 2016, good year, non-factor. 2017, Martinsville. Battling Chase Elliott for the win. First race in the round of 8. Doesn't even give Elliott a chance to make the corner in 3 and 4. Spins him out. He doesn't go on to win the race either. I think he fell back to about 7th or 8th because there was a big accident coming to the line that he kind of started. I remember him driving Ryan Blaney straight into the inside wall to try to keep a position. Really bad look. Elliott comes after him after the race. It was blatant. He wrecked him. Elliott said it too. 2 weeks later at Phoenix, Hamlin has the best car all race long. He loses track position. Elliott's gaining. Matt Kenseth's leading the race. Elliott puts him in the wall. Hamlin blows a tire, and he's done. He doesn't make the championship four after that. Dave Burns interviews him, I believe it was, after the race, or after the incident, asked if he takes any blame for it. Hamlin doesn't. He didn't do anything wrong in his eyes. Didn't take responsibility for his actions, and it didn't matter at the end of the day. He had a wrecked race car. Chase Elliott didn't win the race either. They both missed the championship four. None of them were going to beat Martin Truex Jr., but still, another missed opportunity, largely of Denny's own creation. 2021, Martinsville, gets spun out with 5 to go for the lead by Alex Bowman. The hack rant and everything like that says he's terrible and everything. Really puts a target on his back. Terrible momentum going into the championship race. Really a non-factor in that event as well. That was the Kyle Larson Martin Truex show. Kyle Larson rightfully got the win. Hamlin was clearly the 4th best of the championship 4 drivers there, and just put a bad label on his back. Just did not need to happen. And then 2023 has the battle with Ryan Blaney at Homestead. Really racing Blaney aggressively, and Blaney's one of the cleanest drivers in the garage area. He's never taken anyone out, but he's kind of the victim of a lot of hard racing around him sometimes. And Hamlin overshoots it and hits the wall. Blaney spins his words back on Hamlin, calls him a hack after the race. Hamlin was off that entire next weekend at Martinsville, had a great car, but kept saying stupid things on the radio about mind games and things like that. Was never fully right in that car. And Ryan Blaney then goes on to win the race, finishes second, wins the championship, while Hamlin misses the final 4 because Blaney, with the win, knocked him out. 2024 had the penalty before the playoffs started, lost all of his playoff points, had a part failure in practice at Martinsville, didn't make the championship 4. That's whatever. The most egregious examples of Denny Hamlin's championship inability have come the past 2 weeks. He had a great round at 16, won at Gateway, cruising to the next round. He looks like the championship favorite. Then at New Hampshire, he's battling Ty Gibbs in stage 2 for about 11th. And New Hampshire's a tough track to pass on. And Hamlin was frustrated, obviously, was complaining on the radio about Ty Gibbs not letting him go, even though they're battling for position. And he punts him. He spun out Ty Gibbs blatantly. His own teammate, he's done for the day, and continues to freak out on the radio afterwards. Not sure what led him to do that, but that was maybe the most egregious example of wrecking a teammate I've ever seen at a point in the race where it did not matter. Championship implications, so what? It's the second stage early on at New Hampshire. Neither one of you, even if you pass Gibbs, you're not in a spot to even get a stage point. So what are you doing spinning your teammate? And then today, his own car, driven by Bubba Wallace, he puts him in the wall. Bubba is on the outside looking in. And by the way, he doesn't owe Bubba Wallace that. He doesn't have to give him the win. But if you're going to make a move like that, put him in the wall, you sure as hell better make sure one of you two wins the race and Chase Elliott doesn't come by and win it. It's the same thing as Bristol in 22, where Briscoe took out Tyler Reddick in the final turn. They both spin out, and Kyle Busch comes by to win the race. That was the biggest problem in a lot of people's eyes, was that neither one of them ended up winning. And the elephant in the room in all that is that Hamlin is actively suing NASCAR. 23XI is operating as uncharted teams right now because of this. And when things were revealed in the courtroom, text messages and everything like that, Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan were MFing Joe Gibbs, Denny's own car owner, because they signed the agreement basically threatening them in text conversations that they're going to regret this. And now Denny Hamlin blatantly takes out Joe Gibbs' grandson in a race that meant nothing. That a position that absolutely had no factor of him potentially going on to win a championship. He is putting a target on his back by the people that should be in his corner the most. He is continuing to burn bridges, and I do not understand it. Just a small list of drivers here that have had issues with Denny Hamlin in the past. Ross Chastain, a lot of that's on Ross, but 23, when he's on his podcast after Phoenix, admitting to moving Ross Chastain up the track and then not understanding why, intentionally taking a driver out and admitting it after the fact, got him a points penalty and a fine. Never understood that. Brad Keselowski had a bunch of issues. Austin Dillon, same thing. It wasn't just Richmond last year. There were some issues in the Nationwide Series as well. Kevin Harvick, we already talked about that a little bit. Kyle Larson, he's used him up several times. Chase Elliott, we've gotten into that a little bit. Elliott also intentionally wrecked Hamlin at Charlotte in 23. Ryan Blaney, we talked about. Kyle Busch, Hamlin put him in the wall in an all-star race too when they were teammates. So this isn't the first time Hamlin's taken out a teammate either. Joey Logano as well. They've had plenty of issues. I mostly have taken Denny Hamlin's side in that, especially the Fontana situation. But still, just another guy on his laundry list at drivers he's had a problem with. And Alex Bowman. We talked about the hack situation. And NASCAR. He's suing NASCAR right now. And he seems to be on an island. I'm not smart enough to know all the legal situations going on, but I am smart enough to know that the only common denominator in all of this is Denny Hamlin. He has created all of this controversy. All of this has been brought on himself by himself and his own actions. Don't mistake this as me not respecting Denny Hamlin. I think the world of Denny Hamlin as a NASCAR driver. And what I like more than anything is greatness in the moment. I want to see these guys become great. We currently do not have any all-time great drivers being great right now. And a lot of that's a product of the playoff system. Kyle Busch has fallen off of a cliff. He is the greatest driver historically still running, and he's nothing like he used to be. He's a shell of himself. That should be Denny Hamlin's spot, and he has largely run very well this year. Leads the series with wins, with 5. But stuff like this continues to tarnish his reputation. He talks about being a villain, trying to embrace that role, talking to the fans and everything like that. I've never seen Denny Hamlin as a villain because sometimes the villain wins. He has never won what he's after. To me, Denny Hamlin is an anti-hero. He has all the traits, the talent, the coming up short, everything. He's done everything in his career, but when it comes a Ray Bork type of situation, but he has no sympathy. He should be a guy that fans revere and they admire, and they just don't. And as much as it sucks to say, that is nobody's fault but Denny Hamlin's. He's not going anywhere. He just signed a contract. He's staying with Joe Gibbs Racing for a couple more years after this one. He's still a threat to win this championship. He's in the green going into the Roval. But we have 20 years of Denny Hamlin moments to go off of. What tells you that this year is going to be different? Does anything? When he won Gateway, I thought this was his year. When he was saying he had power steering issues today, and he was holding off Christopher Bell on that long run, I thought this was his year. I was texting with my buddies, and I agreed with what my friend said. If he wins this, he wins the championship. And with all of that, he lost the lead, and he got it back. He was right there going for the win, a heroic effort, and he blew it. He blew it. What is going to be different this year or the next 2? That's it. He is going to go down as the greatest driver in NASCAR history without a championship, and he has come up short time after time after time, and he has found unbelievable ways to do it. What's going to be different this year? Is anything going to be different in 26 or 27? I don't see it. I want to see it. I hate that moniker. I want him to end his career with a championship because, God, he's due. But it's not going to happen. I hope I'm proven wrong, but I don't think I will be this time. That does it for the Harry Loomis Show. Great race today. Congratulations to Chase Elliott for the win. If they qualify well, the last 5 races, Chase Elliott should be your 2025 champion. But we'll see what happens. Talk to you again soon. This is the Harry Loomis Show.